This week on Hooligan Nation, have you ever felt like you have missed an entire decade of good music? Well, we did, and that's why we are reviewing some of what we think is great music from the 90s. In this episode, our second part of our two-part series, we discuss music from 1995 to 99. So stay tuned, because you got...
Nothing to lose.
You got...
Nothing to lose.
You got nothing.
You wanted the best, well, they retired. So you got two dudes in a garage.
Talking KISS.
Welcome to the Hooligan Nation, a KISS-Centric Podcast, the podcast where the riffs are loud, but our opinions are louder. I'm Anthony.
I'm Rocco.
Yes, you are. What's up, hooligans?
What's up, hooligans?
If you're watching or listening to this, it's on or after November 21st, and we have just returned from the KISS Cruise Landlocked event in Las Vegas. We pre-taped this in anticipation of our trip, which is why we will be skipping news, music we are listening to, and our weekly poll. But never fear, never, ever fear. We will be back next week with a new episode detailing everything about KISS Cruise Landlocked. Plus, we'll be bringing back all of our other usual segments. But while we were away, we wanted to bring you something interesting and entertaining, so we decided to review another decade. This time we went with the 90s because we both feel like a few albums and bands slipped through the cracks during the decade, mostly dominated by grunge, nu metal, rap, and pop country. This will be part two of a two-part series. This is 1995 to 1999. If you enjoy this, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss anything in the future. Father Rocco, thank you. I appreciate that.
As for you, hooligans, too.
Last episode recap, 90 to 94 revisited. Any additional thoughts?
There were some albums.
Oh, well, thank you. There was definitely some albums, yes.
No, there was some good stuff there. I mean, the 90s kind of hit, when I think of 90s, the first thing I think of is grunge. When I think of 80s, I think of my music. So the 90s kind of signified an end to like my favorite era of my life when it comes to music. But there's a lot of good stuff in the 90s. And again, you know, I've really embraced grunge. And now Alice in Chains is kind of like my current favorite band right now.
Whoa.
No, like currently new band that I've like really embraced. I'm just saying like the band that I'm like really into right now because I'm playing a lot of their music, you know, not playing on the earphones. I'm playing guitar and singing. So I'm saying I'm like really into Alice in Chains right now. I embrace grunge now. There were some really good 80s music, 80s bands in the 90s.
And I think a lot of them get shortchanged because of the decade they were in, which is really the brain trust behind this series and the reason why we did the 90s. Now, for everybody out there that was with us through the 80s, amateur mistake, we tried to do every album that came out in the 80s. That was a mistake. So this one we're kind of cherry picking here and there for lots of different reasons. Albums that we liked or albums that we feel like are better than they get credit for. We're not going to go crazy with albums that we don't know anything about, which we did a little bit of that in the 80s. Yes. Stop pointing that at me. It has a nail in it.
Anyway, that being said, this is also a collaborative effort with you guys too. So I guarantee you that we're going to miss a couple albums probably that you guys want to give some love to. And again, you know, put it in the comments and, you know, you can kind of, if we don't know, we're not going to BS you. If there's an album that, you know, we're not really sure of, or we're not versed in, it may not be covered in this segment, you know, in this episode, but, you know, definitely feel free to put in the comments if there's an album that you love from this stretch of years that needs to be said. And actually, it'll probably be something that maybe will make us want to go and listen to it as something we missed.
Battleborn is a collaborative effort among like-minded individuals and organizations intent on repairing and restoring people who have served our country. We do this by delivering a unique level of support and guidance to those servicemen and women who have emotional and psychological wounds. We provide support directly and indirectly in collaboration with others in our community who value those who have served this nation and its communities. For more information, go to wearebattleborn.com. For this, 1995 is the beginning. Do you want to start there?
Yeah, let's start there. Let's start at the beginning.
Cool. Alice in Chains, Alice in Chains. Singles, Grind, Heaven Beside You, Again. Billboard 200, peaked at #1 in the U.S., certified 2 times platinum. Father Rocco, take it away.
Well, I think you just heard me say about Alice in Chains. Listen, if you haven't given Alice in Chains a chance, I definitely recommend listening to him, especially if you're a KISS fan. He's a huge Ace Frehley fan, and you definitely get a vibe on some of the songs when he does solos, on a little bit of Ace flavor on some of the solos. It actually glares out to me. So that could be some of the reason why I'm really starting to be really fond of Alice in Chains. The other thing about this too, if you appreciate a good riff, they have so many good riffs on that album. And they're I would say they're pretty much a riff driven band, which is another thing I like about them.
Good job. I don't know nothing about Alice in Chains.
You know Man in the Box, come on.
Yeah, I know Man in the Box, but I don't know Grind, Heaven Beside You, Again. I don't know any of that. So
You'll love Grind. Listen to Grind, you'll love it.
next up, Ozzy Osbourne, Osmosis. Singles, Perry Mason, See You on the Other Side, I Just Want You. Billboard 200 peak, #4. U.S. certified 2 times platinum.
See You on the Other Side is one of those songs that you can't get out of your head.
I would say Perry Mason is
like
also one of those songs that you
Dude,
can't get out of your head.
The intro on that is awesome.
Yeah, the whole thing I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Both of those songs, it was a good album.
Yeah.
It was unfortunately, I think it's a forgotten album because it came out in 1995. You got to be a hardcore Ozzy Osbourne fan to have even come across it. That's just the way it is.
But those 2 songs still stood out during that time, though.
Absolutely. And that album was not just those 2 songs. That was a complete good album. Next up, Van Halen, Balance. Oh, don't get me started. Singles, Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do, Can't Stop Loving You, Not Enough, Amsterdam, peaked Billboard 200, #1, U.S. certified 3 times platinum. This is a great Van Halen album.
It doesn't get the love that it should, actually.
Nope, it does not. Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do is the perfect marriage between Sammy Hagar and Eddie Van Halen. Perfect marriage. It's why those 2 were so great together.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think I said on one of the episodes before, talking about Sammy and Eddie, like he brought out the complete musician in Eddie. Eddie wasn't just I mean, everybody loves him as the guitar god, but you got to see what kind of a musician he is. He's multi-talented in many areas.
It's very unfortunate what happened between the 2 of them.
Yeah.
As big as they were, and they were huge, if they could have stayed together, boy, who knows how much better they could have gotten.
And how much more they could have kept like our music in the forefront.
It's a shame because I think personally, Van Halen and Metallica were they were the top 2 bands that made it through the 90s as unscathed as possible, let's say. You know, I'm sure record sales dipped, but I don't think it dipped as much as it dipped. I mean, Van Halen's album was 3 times platinum. So, you know, if you go back to the late 80s, they were probably 7, 8 times platinum, but they were still killing it out there. And Metallica was doing the same thing. Everybody else, I think, took much bigger of a dip.
I got a question for you. Do you think that Sammy Hagar gets enough credit as a songwriter?
I don't think Sammy Hagar gets enough credit for anything. To be completely honest with you, I mean, yeah, I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to regret bringing this up because it turns into a 45-minute conversation where I lose my mind. But there's all this talk about, Ozzy Osbourne going in as a solo artist. And there's and rightfully so. Ozzy should have went in as a solo artist, by the way. But there's fight about Dio going in and blah 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 blah. And what about Sammy as a solo artist? I mean, Sammy's in with Van Halen, and I don't know that Sammy's ever brought it up or really cares. I don't know that personally, as a Van Halen fan and a Sammy Hagar fan, I don't know that I care. But if you're going to start putting singers in as solo artists that were linked to big bands like, Ozzy and Black Sabbath, boy, I think you gotta look at Sammy Hagar long and hard, pre Van Halen and then post Van Halen. And you gotta ask yourself, why do you have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame if you're not putting these people in?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's had a great career, and I mean, if you follow this podcast, you know that we always throw a lot of love towards Sammy, and it's very. I'm always going to say it's very justified.
He's more machine than man at this point to me, because I don't know how a 77, 78 years old, I don't know how he does it.
I don't know how he gets still with that voice. His voice is.
That's what I mean. I mean, that voice, I don't know how he does it. Those songs, I don't know how he sings them.
And he's funny too. I don't know if you ever heard an interview with him talking about his voice.
Oh, I didn't know he was a comedian. He's funny?
No, he's funny the way he talks about his voice. Because
Funny how?
He's there to amuse you.
Funny like a clown?
Like, he's there to amuse you.
Oh, all right.
No, I watched an interview with him once, and he you want to know what people's secret is, right? Like, what makes you being able to sustain that voice all these years? I don't know. He doesn't have an answer for it. It genetics, whatever. I don't know, but
I believe him.
Yeah, I believe him.
I believe him. Next up, AC/DC Ball Breaker. Singles, Hard as a Rock, Hail Caesar, Cover You in Oil, Billboard 200 peak, number 4, U.S. certified, 2 times platinum. And I will admit to all the hooligans out there, I don't think I've ever listened to this record.
I know I haven't.
It's crazy, but this is why we're doing this episode, because two people like us, and again, I'll say this again, we're not geniuses. We're not the end all. We're no different than you guys. We're just fans. And this is what worries me, is that people like me missed a large portion of the music in the 90s. And personally, I blame Nirvana and grunge.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and you guys also got to blame the power ballads too.
Why do we have to blame the power ballads?
Because it got too clouded with having our era towards the end. It lost some of its edge. It just did, and it gave grunge a chance to get in there.
Next up, Skid Row, Subhuman Race.
Sebastian Bach.
Singles, My Enemy, Breaking Down, Into Another. Billboard 200 peak, number 35, no U.S. certification. We said this last episode about the Skid Row album. Skid Row was getting harder and harder as their albums came out. And they were going, I am convinced that if they could have got along with Sebastian Bach, and if grunge didn't come along, Skid Row would have been one of those bands that would have been ginormously huge. Unfortunately, band drama and grunge destroyed them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Sebastian Bach is definitely an interesting cat and definitely had his share of demons. But I'll tell you what, one of the best rock and roll singers of all time.
Yes, and we killed this.
Vocal wise, you know.
We killed this last episode, but we'll kill it again. He's also a fantastic front man.
Oh yeah, yeah. So there's certain people that were meant to do it. He was definitely one of those.
And next, Iron Maiden, The X Factor. Singles, Man on the Edge, Lord of the Flies, Billboard 200 peak, number 147 in the US. Again, never heard of it, didn't even know it existed.
Same here.
So if you're a hooligan and you know this album, drop it in the comments below, educate us. I know that when we're done with this episode, I have a few things that I need to listen to because we purposely, we didn't want to fake it
Yeah,
and
I mean,
listen
hopefully,
to the album the first time and talk about what we don't know.
right, and hopefully you'll respect the fact that we're gonna tell you straight up if we've listened to it, if we're versed on it. And again, this is where you guys chime in. Hey, listen, I listened to that album and you missed it, man. These songs were great. The whole album was good, or whatever. You know, feel free to
And,
put in the comments.
and if you don't respect it for it, blame him because it's his fault.
No, it's his fault.
No, it's his fault. No, I'm sure. Look, you guys are going to trust anybody. Trust me. I would never lie to you. It's his fault. Next, Bon Jovi These Days. Well, somebody's going to pull my man card, but I know this album. Singles, This Ain't a Love Song, Something for the Pain, Lie to Me, These Days, Hey God, Billboard 200, number 9, and certified platinum in the US. Boy, if that doesn't tell you everything. A Bon Jovi record that only went platinum before streaming. I wonder if there's a Bon Jovi album that is only certified platinum other than this one. Like, even Bon Jovi was taking a beating in the 90s. Like, this is a good album. Yes, they did soften up. Absolutely, they softened up.
Yeah, I wasn't really feeling this too much. So.
They diversified, and we all know, if you're any kind of Bon Jovi fan and you're honest to yourself, you know they continued to diversify until they just went kind of too far, which is where I kind of think they've settled and they're just too far. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, I've always felt like the secret sauce was the combination of Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora. And the farther along they went, the more they weren't getting along, the more they lost the magic.
I can't argue with that. Damn it, I wish I could argue with that, but I can't argue with that. Next up, Firehouse 3 singles, I Live My Life for You, Here for You, Billboard 200, number 66, US certified, no certification. My apologies. Look, I love the song I Live My Life for You. I said last week that Firehouse is not a band that should be labeled for their power ballads. With that being said, they're one of those bands that mastered the power ballads, which is why they're known for them.
Yeah, that's well said.
Next up, Vince Neil, Carved in Stone. Singles, Skylar Song, The Crawl, Billboard 200, number 139, and no certification. It's pretty much a party record, which pretty much could define Vince Neil at that time. It's not a terrible record by any means, but it's not at least for me, it's not something I regularly listen to or that I'm in love with in any way, shape, or form.
I'll just make a comparison with Kiss. What do we say? When they go off on their own, they're like a shell of what they were as a band. Vince works with Motley Crue. He don't work without Motley Crue. Tommy Lee tried it, right?
Oh, well, Tommy Lee went crazy when he tried it. I don't know what you could call that.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, certain bands when they fracture and they go and you have just individuals trying to make it, it's just not. Then it's not going to go to that level.
No, you need those ingredients because Vince Neil needed Motley Crue, and let's be honest, Motley Crue needed Vince Neil.
100%.
Let's roll into 1996. Look, there isn't much here in 96. I'm going to be honest, there isn't much here in 96 that I even listened to, but we'll name them and we'll hope that you got some of them. Wasp, Still Not Black Enough. Singles, Black Forever, Goodbye America, did not chart in the Billboard 200, and no certification. I know nothing about this album. I wish I did. I should. I didn't even know it existed, so I'm a bad hooligan, I guess.
96 is going to be rough.
96 is a rough year for both of us. Dio, Angry Machines, heavier, but still classic metal. Singles, Push to the Radio. Institutional Man, Don't Tell the Kids. Didn't chart in the Billboard 200. No certification. And again, I'm very sorry. I know nothing about this record at all. So we're going to throw an O for 1996. You know what we were doing in 1996?
Watching the Yankees win.
We were chasing the Yankees all year long. That's what we were doing. Hooligans, that is my excuse. We were young. We were dumb.
And we were sleeping on the sidewalk at Yankee Stadium.
Yup, we were chasing the Yankees all over the place and living that, they hadn't been to the World Series since what, 1970?
78. No, 81. 81 they were.
81 they were there, but they lost to the Dodgers, so it was a long gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went crazy that year.
But that's an example of you serving it up and me slamming it home.
Well, don't pull anything.
No,
and whatever you do, don't break a tooth.
No tooth. See nice and white.
Yeah. There you go. We get to slide into 1997, which looks a lot more hopeful than 1996.
Absolutely.
And we will start with Metallica, Reload, singles, The Memory Remains, The Unforgiven 2, Fuel.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, then. Billboard 200, #1, and 4 times platinum.
Good album.
Good. That's all you got for that? Is good album?
Hey, listen, man, there's so much Metallica I like. It's not my top album, but it's a good album, really good album. I like Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, Kill 'Em All. Believe it or not, I was just listening to Kill 'Em All yesterday.
I do believe you because I believe you put it on the music we were listening to Monday.
Facebook page, I did.
Daddy's always watching. I like Reload. I know a lot of Metallica fans hate Load and Reload because they changed their look and all of a sudden everybody said, oh my God, they changed their look so the music changed. I don't feel like they did. I feel like they cultivated what they were doing and it just kept getting better and better. And the perfect example is The Memory Remains. I mean, I can't remember. Mary Ann Faithful is her name. She's the one that sings on The Memory Remains. It's an incredible song. A little slower, little softer.
Yeah,
but
they did Nothing Else Matters, Unforgiven. Yeah.
Right, but then they come back with Fuel, which is a signature Metallica song.
Yeah.
They were killing it.
And you know what? I'm going to just make this point, and I love this. I actually like when a band still stays to their core, but they do try some different things. Like Metallica doesn't have carbon copy albums all the way through their catalog either.
No, they don't.
A lot of the stuff is different, but it still has that same steady Metallica edge with some of the melodic acoustic stuff that they do, which I freaking love.
They were not afraid to change. And I think musically that's a good thing unless your change sucks. And I don't think it sucked here.
No.
Next up, Aerosmith 9 Lives. Singles, Falling in Love is Hard on the Knees, Hole in My Soul, Pink. Billboard 200, #1, 2 times platinum. Again, We said this, I think, last episode. This is the more radio, music video friendly Aerosmith, but I think it's still good. I think Pink is a good song. It's a pop rock song. Falling in Love is Hard on the Knees. Probably the same thing. Refined sound, maybe a lot more refined than the 70s, but I still think it's good. It's still Aerosmith. I still listen to the album.
Yeah, you know what? You'd be hard pressed to find bad Aerosmith songs. They always have a good groove. They always have melody. Sometimes it's a little bit too commercially driven for me at times.
Yeah, but this is the music business, and
Correct.
they were killing it at the time with those commercially driven
Yeah, I mean,
songs.
if they're doing it, still doing it well.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the if you put on an Aerosmith album from the 70s and then you put on an Aerosmith and you put this album on in the 90s, a lot of it sounds like two completely different bands,
Mhm.
but both of those completely different bands were pretty great. There's a lot to be said for that. Next up, Megadeth, Cryptic Writings, Singles Trust, Almost Honest, Use the Man, A Secret Place. Billboard 200 reached number 10, and U.S. sales, it was certified gold. Look, it's Dave Mustaine, it's Megadeth, it's good. That's all I really got for that. Megadeth never really changed anything. They were the complete opposite of bands like Metallica and bands like Aerosmith. Like Dave knows what Dave wants, and that's what Dave does. And just like AC/DC, and just like we just said about Metallica and about Aerosmith, change is great for the bands that want to change and don't want to do the same thing over and over again. But bands like AC/DC and Megadeth, they found what works for them and they kept going in that same path. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either.
Yeah, again, the only criticism I've ever had of Megadeth is, again, I don't really like his voice too much, but he's a great musician, and I think because of his vocals the way it is and the way the band is, I don't think he'll ever get credit as a guitar player how good how good a guitar player he is.
And I still think you're wrong about his voice.
You know what? There's no right or wrong. That's a taste thing. That's
I,
something that's
I
your
mean,
lane.
no,
That's your lane.
don't get me wrong. Dave Mustaine is not a singer. I think that's the best part.
Yeah, I'm saying like he has a tone to his voice that you dig. He has a tone to his voice I don't like.
He's angry.
It doesn't.
I bond with his anger.
Right. It's your lane.
Well,
Oh, we both have talked, right? You like a lot of Alice Cooper. There's a lot of stuff I'm not really into of Alice Cooper. It's just different strokes. Sometimes where we hit right exactly in the middle, where we both like the same stuff, and other times you're like, yeah, that's for me, that's not for me, you know?
well, I won't argue with you when it comes to Megadeth, but with Alice Cooper, you're just wrong.
I like Alice Cooper. I respect him. I mean, he's been great to the music business. Great showman. And the song Poison I love. I'm 18. There's a lot of songs of Alice Cooper I love.
You know what? You know what I like about Alice Cooper the most?
Anita Strauss. Ah!
Alice
Serve it up, I slam it home.
Alice Cooper could lose his voice mid concert, and as long as Nita's on the stage, I'm cool with it.
And that proves my point.
We're gonna offer everybody a refund. I don't need a refund. Just leave Nita on the stage. You guys can all go. Just leave her on the stage, and we're cool.
So does that mean that if the Beatles had Nina Strauss on stage, you'd be more of a Beatles fan?
Oh hell yeah, we'd be rocking the Beatles right now. Just rocking the Beatles. Pick a song. We'd be rocking that song. What was that Gene Simmons song that he did? Little Doves, White Doves, Blue Doves, whatever it was.
I forget.
I don't know. If Nita Strauss played on that record, that would be my favorite record. Next up, Limp Bizkit, $3 bill, y'all. I love this album. Singles, Counterfeit, Sour, Faith. Oh my God, Faith. Oh my God. Billboard 200 eventually went to the top 40 after the 1998 breakout. U.S. sales 2 times platinum, but it took them a lot of years to get that. This is the beginning of the Limp Bizkit and the new metal era. And if you, Father Rocco, I know you're not a huge Limp Bizkit fan, so you may never have heard this song. But if you haven't, okay, well, That Faith is a remake of the Wham dude,
Gene Michael? I mean, George Michael. Gene Michael.
Gene Michael. Yeah. Well, I guess we're going back to the Yankees.
George Michael.
Yes. That is the new metal version of Faith.
Oh, I got to hear that.
As soon as we get off, you need to put that on because it's mind bending. And I'm serious, it is mind bending.
I'll definitely check it out.
Hooligans. Look, if you don't like Limp Bizkit, I understand. I am a big Limp Bizkit fan. Just do me the favor and put on Faith and listen to it. If for nothing else, it's entertaining. Next up, Motley Crue, Generation Swine. Singles, Afraid, Beauty, Glitter. Billboard 200 peaked at number 4. U.S. sales certified gold, which is a crying shame. It is not their best album, but it is not terrible.
Glitter is good. Is a good song.
So's Afraid is also a good song. Tommy Lee sings a ballad on this album, I believe, which isn't terrible, by the way. But it has a little. It's Motley Crue trying to change and evolve a little bit. It has more of an industrial sound to it. Next up, Judas Priest, Jugulator, singles, Bullet Train, Burn in Hell. Billboard 200 reached number 82. U.S. sales, no certification. Yeah, I don't know much about this album. How about you?
I don't know much about that album. I want to just track back one spot. I don't have this album. This is an album that I have listed that I have to listen to. If there's any hooligans out there that are versed on this album, Dream Theater, the guitar player is unbelievable on that, and Dream Theater is another one of those bands that I have listed that I have to explore. But they did the album Falling into Infinity, and I've been told it's a really good album.
I tried Dream Theater. They're too much. They're too progressive for me. I mean,
I have no. I'm not versed on them at all. So it's like one of those things I got.
I tried Dream Theater. I don't know. It's just the progressive thing just doesn't. It just doesn't work for me.
Okay.
All right. Nothing on Judas Priest. We should cut that out, or
No, I mean I love Judas Priest, but I don't. I definitely didn't listen to this album at all. So I mean, I've been a fan of Judas Priest forever. So this is definitely an album that I would probably add to my list of albums that I have to check out. But I definitely didn't listen to this.
we'll end 1997 with KISS Carnival of Souls, the final sessions. Single Jungle, Billboard 200 reached number 27. U.S. sales, none. Kiss's grunge album. Boy,
I love it.
this has been an adventure for us.
Yeah.
For you hooligans out there that are newer to us, when we started this podcast 13, 14 months ago, I don't think he had ever listened to Carnival of Souls. Not only did they pull off a grunge album, but it's like some other things in my life. It's grown on me.
It's good.
It's definitely a mood album for me.
It's a mood album for me too.
I've said this before to you. Hate has been on my gym playlist for at least the last 15, 20 years. And I rotate songs in and out on my gym playlist, but Hate stays on. It's just a workout song for me.
The crazy thing about this album, I think I've said this to you before. Maybe when we reviewed the album, I said it. Paul hates this album. I love Paul's voice on this album.
Well, it's something new. It's something different.
But like Rain, right? Like Rain is such a good song. I love the way
Yeah.
his twist on that song.
Yeah, it's like we said this when we did Paul's solo album, Paul's 1978 solo album. His voice, he used a deeper voice on some of the songs on the 78 solo album. And not that I thought his voice was better, but it was different. And that's part of the reason why certain songs on the 78 solo album I like so much. And the same thing goes for this. Like
You were
that,
saying more depth to what he was doing.
yeah, and obviously that high pitched Paul Stanley voice would not have worked on a grunge record.
No shot.
So it was very cool. Now, I can knock anything. And it's too muddy. It's too grungy. Like I would love, and I don't even know if anybody can do this, Frankenstein, but I would love if somebody could ungrunge Carnival of Souls and make it crisper, cleaner. I don't even know if that's possible or not.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm like going in. I didn't think they could do it, and this is definitely I love this album.
I like it. I don't love it. In 1998, let's start out with Korn. That's grunge, isn't it?
I like a little butter on my corn.
Do you? I like Corn on the Cob. You have to ask yourself, hooligans out there,
Self.
I need you to drop this in the comments below if you have the answer for this. Why, when you take corn off the cob, does it taste different?
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody's going to question me about that, go get yourself some corn on the cob, if you even can this time of year, and then just cut the corn off the cob, and I guarantee you it tastes different on the cob than off the cob. I want to know why. If you can answer that, drop it in the comments below.
But as far as the band Korn and that album, I'm not versed on that album.
Oh, well, you're supposed to be the grunge guy, aren't you?
Korn's not really grunge. They're more like heavy progressive.
Heavy progressive. Okay, well, singles, Got the Life, Freak on a Leash. I like the sound of that. BBK, Billboard 200, #1, certified platinum 5 times. Well, I guess I'll get to listening to that.
Korn has a big following. They do.
Do they? Well, I only follow Korn on the cob. How about System of a Down?
They just played together in concert.
That's great. Do you know anything about that record?
No.
Next up, Godsmack, singles, whatever, Keep Away, Voodoo, Bad Religion, Billboard 200, #22, certified 5 times platinum. Father Rocco, as our resident, I don't know, grunge, progressive, music that I don't listen to expert.
I'm not very super versed in Godsmack, but
I have faith in you.
The song Voodoo and Bad Religion, I've heard both those songs. Both of those songs are really good. I've never heard whatever, and I've never heard Keep Away, or if I have, I've heard them and I didn't recognize them as a Godsmack song. But Godsmack's another one of those, like, you got me into Spotify, and unfortunately, I got a list of like 70 freaking bands and songs and all this stuff that I have to listen to because there's stuff that I want to get to, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot to add other than saying that I've heard the song Voodoo and Bad Religion, and I like both songs. But they're a band that I like enough with those songs that I'm going to actually venture more into their catalog and on this album too.
Cool, yo. Next up, Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe, Singles, Dragula, Living Dead Girl, Super Beast, Billboard 200, number 5, certified 3 times platinum. I can only speak for Dragula because I love the song. I don't know why I never got crazy into White Zombie or Rob Zombie, but he is an interesting character.
I'm a fan of him.
And I'll say this again because I say this every chance I get. He is part of the single greatest Kiss cover song ever.
God of Thunder.
The greatest. Hooligans, if you somehow missed it, YouTube Rob Zombie, God of Thunder, and it should come up. It's a great rendition of the song. It's Scott Ian on bass, Tommy Lee on drums, Rob Zombie on lead vocals, Slash on lead guitar.
You already said Scott Ian on bass.
Not Izzy. It's not Izzy Stradlin on rhythm guitar. It's it's a guy from Guns N' Roses, and I can't remember his name at the second. And then they call out the spaceman himself, and they do the single best rendition other than Kiss that I've ever heard, God of Thunder. Next up, Marilyn Manson, Mechanical Animals, Singles, The Dope Show, Rock is Dead, I Don't Like the Drugs, but the Drugs Like Me, Billboard 200, ranked number 1, and was certified platinum. Again, I was never a big, huge Marilyn Manson fan, but I did see Marilyn Manson in concert about a year ago, and he's a hell of a character.
Is he like Alice Cooper? Would you put him along the same line when you see him in concert, like same kind of theatrical?
Yes and no. He's different. He's entertaining. He's weird.
But he does, like, Alice kills things on stage. He doesn't do like stuff like that and blood and stuff.
Nah, well, when I saw Marilyn Manson, I believe he opened up for Limp Bizkit. So he didn't do like a full headline show. But it was good. It was a good show. I love the song The Dope Show. He's entertaining and he's interesting. He's an enigma, I guess is the best way to say it. Next, Kid Rock, Devil Without a Cause. This is listed as rap rock / new metal. I don't know what it is. All I know is it's good. Singles, Ball with the Ba. That's got to be the oddest name for a song, but it's good. Cowboy, Only God Knows Why, I Am the Bull God. Billboard 200, it took him a long time, but he got to the top 5. And certified diamond, 11 times platinum.
Yeah, I mean,
what to say?
Listen, I think that if you look at that album, Cowboy definitely carried the torch, but Bow It to Ball is another one that those two songs were all over the freaking place when they came out.
Yeah. Both had videos. Again, what was it? I think it was Woodstock 99. If you never saw Kid Rock set at Woodstock 99, go search that and find it, because it's probably part of what blew him up was that set he did at Woodstock 99, just like Limp Bizkit. Like if you're searching for Kid Rock, Woodstock 99, check out Limp Bizkit, Woodstock 99, and check them out, because I think they both made their names right there at that one show.
Yeah, Kid Rock's another one of those performers, frontmen that were meant to do what he does.
Next up, Metallica, Garage Incorporated. It's a covers album. Singles, Turn the Page, Whiskey in the Jar, Die Die My Darling. Reached number 2 on Billboard 200, just listed as multi-platinum. I love this album. I like all Metallica albums, but this was good. They did a covers album Well, did you call it punk like?
Oh, that's definitely punk like. There's a song, I don't know if this is the name of it, Brett Fan. They did like a play, there's like a tribute to, they did a tribute to certain bands that they followed on this. I think they even did a Motorhead song on this, if I remember correctly. This was like a this was like a just a fun project album that they did.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it was also good. And special note, Turn the Page.
One of my favorite songs of all time that they did.
It's one of my favorite videos. And do you know why it's one of my favorite videos?
No.
Oh, well, your homework tonight is to watch the video at some point tonight and then report back to me as to why it's one of my favorite videos. Hooligans! I hate to do this over and over again, but I got to do this because I want to know. Check out the Turn the Page video and tell me why it's one of my favorite videos. Next up, Van Halen 3. Oh, this ought to be fun. Singles, Without You, Fire in the Hole, One I Want, Billboard 200 reached number 4 and was certified gold. This is the first and only Van Halen album with Gary Cherone. Let's start with the good. I love the song Without You. I think it is a great, great Van Halen song. And as far as I'm concerned, the rest of the album is terrible. And they were just disjointed at best. And that's why Gary Cherone only recorded one album with them. It's unfortunate, I think, in some ways, but you got one good song out of it, in my opinion. So, and let's end it with KISS, Psycho Circus. Singles, Psycho Circus, You Wanted the Best. Oh, Father Rocco's favorite song, We Are One, reached number 3 on the Billboard charts and was certified gold and only gold, and that's a shame.
And the one thing about this album, if you remember the review we did on it, the whole album is good, not great to me, but the two songs that are on it, that's the Psycho Circus and We Are One, are definitely, when I have to do like my top 100 Kiss songs of all time, they're on it. That's how much I love those two songs, We Are One and Psycho Circus. Psycho Circus to me is like a legendary song from an experience perspective when we went to that concert. And also, if you look, it's one of the, to me also, it's one of the best videos they've ever done.
It was a very good video, yes. I can absolutely agree with that. But I think Psycho Circus gets killed a lot of times because of who played on it. And I think Psycho Circus is a great song. Within is a great song. I Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll, Into the Void, We Are One. To a lesser degree, You Wanted the Best. Raise Your Glasses. That's probably the end there for me. But hey, that's 6 or 7 good songs out of 10.
I would still say though, like, I don't know if you agree, but Psycho Circus and We Are One on the album are here, and the other songs are kind of a letdown after that. To me, just to me personally, doesn't say, I'm not saying they're bad songs. I just think that they're not up to the same level.
Well, I'll agree, but I'll expand. Because I think you're right. Psycho Circus and We Are One are up here. But I think Within and Into the Void are up there with them. The only knock I have on Into the Void, and I've done this before, is, I personally got tired of Kiss and Ace, and for that matter, Tommy, singing about electricity, about space travel. Like, that's great. That's cool, but you can't do it every song. And when you make a reunion album like this, again, for me, I would have liked to see Ace sing something that wasn't connected to space or electricity or the same stuff as all. Look, I think Shock Me is a great, great song. But how many different versions of Shock Me can we listen to
Right.
before I just want something else?
Like Hard Times.
Like Hard Times, like Into the Night, like Rock Soldiers. I mean, he's got so many great songs that aren't about it, that the ones that are about those couple things just stick out a little bit like a sore thumb. It's a great song and I love the song. But if you're only going to give him one song on the record, I just wish it was about something else. And on that note, we will move into 1999. And this is just mind-blowing to me, like looking at this. If you could put it in writing so people could look at it, physically look at it, how the music landscape changed from 1990 to 1999 is wild. It is wild. We're going to go through them, but the bands, Limp Bizkit, Korn, Slipknot, Stained, Rage Against the Machine, Nine Inch Nails, Metallica, Def Leppard, Megadeth, most of the bands are part of that 90s new metal, rap rock, or grunge. Like
Definitely went a different direction.
it's like the quote unquote bands that were labeled as hair, they were like, yeah, we're just going to get out of the way and let this run its course. And then we'll think about coming back because there
And you
was
know
just
what?
no room for them.
And I think this is kind of comical looking at the list here. And then you slip a band in the middle of all that, like Creed.
Yeah, which
They don't fit in with the rest of that.
I have no idea. To this day, I have no idea where Creed fits in. But Creed is one of those bands.
They're a good band. I like them.
Creed is one of those bands like that other band, Nickelback.
Oh, okay.
To me, Creed and Nickelback are like, for some reason, the two most hated bands in the world by the masses. And I can't figure out why.
They're good bands. They got some good
But
songs.
but people hate them. They get picked on. It's like it's almost like we talked last week about Beavis and Butthead and how they picked on the kid that wore the winger shirt.
Winger, yeah.
Well, when he took off the winger shirt, he put a Creed or a Nickelback shirt on and continued to get picked on. If that computes to you at all.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying. But I mean, Creed had some really, really good songs.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Creed fan, but let's start out in 1999 with the mighty Limp Bizkit, Significant Other, which absolutely exploded Limp Bizkit because of singles like Nookie, Rearranged, and Together Now, and Break Stuff. Peaked at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and went 7 times platinum. Now, if you're not familiar with Limp Bizkit, and you're watching the Hooligan Nation, the KISS-Centric Podcast, you may not like End Together Now. Just warning you now, it's more of a rap song. The other stuff is, in the least, it's interesting, and in the most, it's really, really good.
No, Nookie was a popular song. I remember that was another MTV driven song too.
You know why?
Why?
Because they did it for the Nookie.
So does that mean you want a cookie?
No, I don't want to break a tooth like you. Stain, Dysfunction, singles Mud Shovel, Just Go, Home, peaked at number 74 on the Billboard 200 and was certified 2 times platinum. And I don't know nothing about Stain. So,
You really
Father
don't?
Rocco, hit it.
Okay, so what I'm going to give you about Stained is I'm going to give you songs that I know of Stained that's not on this album. So, guys, if you're a Stained fan, please put, and you know, very familiar with the album, please put it in the comments. I know Mud Shovel, it's a good song. the actual lead singer of the band actually now is doing country music, believe it or not. But I guarantee you've heard the song "It's Been a While."
Have I heard it?
Yeah,
I have.
that's them.
It's pretty
That's
good.
that's
I know
Sting.
it is.
Other Side, Everything Changes. These are songs that I've actually learned and I played at open mics before. So there's a lot of Stain music I like, and I didn't know about this album, so it's definitely an album I'm going to actually check out because I'm definitely a fan of Stained.
How about Creed, Human Clay? Singles Higher, What If, With Arms Wide Open, Are You Ready? Peaked at #1 on the Billboard 200, certified diamond 11 times platinum plus.
Would
Take
you
the
say-
wheel, Stevie Wonder.
Well, this is another one. Higher and Arms Wide Open were played out like crazy on
Ugh.
MTV. And the song Higher is a fantastic song. Arms Wide Open is another one of those love songs. But again, you talked about Creed before. They're a good, complete band. One of the things I like about Creed is I love the vocal. I mean, if his vocal was on the Megadeth stuff, I'd probably really be a big fan of Megadeth.
You know what's funny about that? The reason why I'm not really that into Creed is because of his vocals. I don't like that. I can't do it. I don't sing, but I
That was
just
that was worth it for what you just did right
did.
there.
I just sound like Chewbacca?
You did. That was really good.
Okay. No, I don't know. I don't know what it is about. I mean, I don't have anything against him personally. I'm just not crazy about his voice. For me, I'd take Dave Mustaine over Scott Stapp. Is that his name? Yeah, I think it is.
But that's the beauty of music, right?
A lot of the '90s just weren't my gig.
Yeah, but differences are what makes the world go round.
Well, I'm different. 9 Inch Nails.
The only thing I'll say about Nine Inch Nails, if you're familiar with Nine Inch Nails, you know what I'm going to say here. Trent Reznor is a musical genius. I'm not overly versed in all of his stuff. The album, I forget the name of the album, but Head Like a Hole.
You can slow down because I have to go through the whole thing if you're gonna talk. I was asking you if you can talk about it. I just said 9 Inch Nails and you went off into space. Like I got to give him an album. I got to give him singles. I got to give him the.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
I'm sorry.
9 Inch Nails, The Fragile. Singles, The Day the World Went Away, We're in This Together, Into the Void. #1 on the Billboard 200. Certified 2 times platinum. Father Rocco, take it away.
Getting close.
Oh, you want me to get in close?
Yeah. All right, now look at me.
Uh-huh.
I kind of miss my mojo now. It's gone.
I'm sorry.
No,
You should.
all I was saying is that Trent Reznor does all the music. He is the guy that puts all the music on his albums. Every aspect of what you hear is him.
Oh, really? He plays guitar and
Everything.
bass, and I didn't know that.
He is a musical genius.
He is 9 Inch Nails?
When he tours, he's like Ghost. When he tours, he has people with him, but he creates. I mean, I don't know if he's changed, but I know his first couple albums, he did it all. So
That's actually really cool. I never knew that. I'm like zero fan of 9 Inch Nails. Not for any reason other than,
he's
I don't
actually,
know.
if you get a chance, definitely look at his bio because he's a fascinating character.
That is fascinating. Like that's I really think that's the driving force of the reason why I like Aldo Nova. Although I don't believe Aldo Nova played drums, and Wolfgang Van Halen does the same thing.
Oh yeah.
His band I think only tours with him. He does everything. That is so cool to me.
Oh yeah.
That here, me, I can't play chopsticks on a piano, and this guy's playing lead and rhythm guitar, bass, and drums, and singing on the album. And there's a YouTube video of Wolfgang playing Van Halen songs on drums. It's
Yeah, I
incredible.
mean, imagine growing up and having Eddie Van Halen as your father and having Alex Van Halen as your uncle.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's good and bad of that, but there's a lot of good of that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Next up, Metallica, S&M, live with the San Francisco Symphony.
Yeah, there's a lot of diehards that hate it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Singles, Nothing Else Matters, 99, No Leaf Clover, Billboard 200, number 2, certified 5 times platinum, I Hate Orchestra. So, Father Rocco, please, I got to tell you, I bought it. I think I listened to it once. I bought Alive 4. I think I listened to that once too for the same reason. Just can't. Just can't. So you have to.
It's one of my favorite Metallica albums for one specific reason. When I would
Oh, I
listen,
can't wait.
when I would listen to, when I and there's no secret. I listen to all kinds of music. I like marching band. I listen to my, if it's good music, I listen to it. If it's bad music, I don't. When it comes to the S&M thing, I don't know how to explain it to you. You know how much of a diehard Metallica fan I was listening to Creeping Death album, Kill 'Em All. I was into all that, but every time I listened to them when I was younger, they still had such a melodic way with the guitaring in unison that I always kind of like thought that it would be interesting that what they would sound like in an orchestra, because a lot of what they did, I always felt like would fit. And then all of a sudden they did this album, and I'm like, if you don't have to like orchestra, but if you just watch the way that their music plays with the orchestra, it just shows it shows the how incredible musicians, how good musicians they are to be able to play with an orchestra, because their music melodically fits. So that's why S&M is always going to be one of my favorites, because believe it or not, I had thought about, I wonder what they would sound like in that way at time. Then all of a sudden they come out with an album like that, which is kind of trippy at the time when I heard they were doing that. And again, you don't have to like orchestra music, but just listen to one of the songs that they do regularly, and then listen to it with an orchestra. And I think you can put it more perspective, and you can appreciate it even more.
I'm sure it's great. I know there's people out there, 2 of them, that like Alive 4. The orchestra kind of kills it for me. Um, I don't know why. It's just not my gig. But you know what? Father Rocco wants me to listen to it. So
It's a different type of. It's just like when I go if I go see jazz, right? If I go to listen to like a jazz band, it's a different listening experience. It's not like you're going to rock out to it. It's a different type of. The best I can think is the best thing I can tell you is it's a different kind of listening experience. When we're actually, you know what, bring it to Vegas on the plane. Like, have a few songs. I guarantee you, it'll be relaxing to you listening to it.
dude, we're going to get on an airplane that goes 37,000 feet in the air. I don't like to be 5 feet off the ground.
That's going to relax you.
There is nothing that's going to relax me. Nothing. I'm going to fill my body full of gummies. At 5:30 in the morning, if there's a bar open at JFK, I may have myself 1 or 2 drinks, and I can promise you I will still not be relaxed at 37,000 feet.
All right, then I'll take that request back for you. No problem.
You got anything else? Any Buck Cherry, Typo Negative? Definitely not Dream Theater. You I don't know. Def Leppard. You got anything else you want?
The only thing I'll say is the Dream Theater thing. The reason I chime in with that is because, and I forget his name, Petraglia. I forget his name, but the guitarist Petrucci, the guitarist in Dream Theater, is regarded as one of the best guitarists of this day when it comes to rock guitar players. So anybody who's a musician out there that thinks that we're slighting Dream Theater, they're on my list of like trying to dive in just for the fact that he's like a guitar god.
I don't consider it slighting. It's just look.
No, I mean not
What,
being right. Like if
you
they have
say
something to say
this?
about it.
You say this about Mustaine all the time. You don't like Mustaine's voice,
Right.
but you do respect his musicality.
100%.
The same thing. Look, I'm not a big, huge Rush fan. I like the same Rush songs that everybody else likes. I'm not a big, huge Nirvana fan. I like the same Nirvana songs that everybody else likes. But I still respect what they did. Dream Theater, I've given them multiple chances. I don't know why it just doesn't grab me. It's like there's a lot of music from the 90s that just didn't grab me. That whatever you want to call it, like Seven Dust, Korn, they didn't grab me, but for some reason Limp Bizkit did. There's no answer to why.
Mm.
Rage Against the Machine. Musically, I don't know why. Is it Zach De La Rocha? Is that his name? The lead singer?
I don't know this lead singer's name.
I, I don't know why. His voice annoys me. And that's sometimes all it takes. I don't know why. Like, I don't think he's a bad guy. Look, I would listen to Tom Morello play a ukulele, but I'm not a big fan of Rage Against the Machine. Nine Inch Nails, all of these bands, like I never gave them a chance. Dream Theater, I gave a chance, and musically, it's mind blowing. But as far as like goes, no, it's another one, Buck Cherry. I saw Buck Cherry in concert. I don't know, just not my thing. That's the definition, I think, of the 90s. I don't think there's another decade that we were alive that was like the 90s. When the 90s came around, it seemed like to me, the only good music that was out there for me was like the rap rock, new metal, certain of it, and old school rap. Other than Kiss, which I thought at the time I did not like Carnival of Souls, but I liked Psycho Circus and I definitely liked Revenge. But other than that, these bands were getting killed. MTV wasn't playing the videos anymore. I went from a kid to an adult and got a career and didn't have the time, and they weren't getting pushed commercially, which is part of the reason why I think we went through this list and we both don't know a lot of it because it was not commercially getting pushed to us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a group of bands, Metallica, Van Halen, Kiss, that I'm going to go out and did go out throughout the 90s and go purchase their record blindly. But I'm not going to go purchase a Buck Cherry record blindly. It's got to be driven down my throat. It's got to be on the radio. It's got to be on MTV at the time. It had to be on MTV, that kind of stuff. And it wasn't. Every time I turned MTV on in the 90s, I got to see Teen Spirit again.
Plus, you know what, too, and I don't know if you agree with this or not, but also back in the 80s, it felt like you had more people like walking up to you and saying, "Hey, man, check out this song." I don't get any of that now.
No,
In the 90s, I didn't get a lot of that either.
Well, that's a technology thing, I think. I said, I think it was in the segment, the Wednesday segment, that I said that I listened to Three Sides of the Coin podcast, and Mark Cicchini, one of their hosts, he said something about technology and that he would love to go back to like the 70s and 80s. I think technology is great. I think it's amazing. I love all the gadgets, all the toys, cell phones, all that stuff. But there's a price we pay for that.
Absolutely.
And the music business probably changed more than anything else because of technology. I mean, it's right here.
Mm-hmm.
What album do you want? What song do you want? It's right here. But it's driven by the user. It's not driven by the market anymore. And that's used to be driven by the market. If you think back to the late 80s as an example, even the music that wasn't being driven to the consumer by mainstream was being driven by, Headbangers Ball or whatever MTV had for alternative music, whatever they called that. 120 minutes, I think they called it. There was something spoon feeding it to you. And now, no, it doesn't get spoon fed to you. I mean, certain things do, but other things don't. Like, Stephen Pearcy can put an album out tomorrow. Unless you go searching to find it and the fact that the album's out, you may never know. I mean, if you listen to some rock show, some rock podcast, doesn't have to be ours, but if you listen to Eddie Trunk, you'll probably hear that there's a new album out. But if you don't do any of those things, Stephen Pearcy's album could come out and you would never even know it. Like that's a completely different world than what we grew up in.
And again, you got pluses and minuses, and one of the downfalls is nothing is appreciated to the level it used to be appreciated in.
No.
In other words, Metallica's got a brand new album out, and you're at Sam Goody, and you're waiting. I always use Sam Goody. You're in line, you're waiting. It's an event. You can't wait. That album's coming out Friday. I'm waiting in line for it. I get the album. I have to listen to the entire album, not just one song that's been on streaming. I have to listen to that entire album. And then I can't wait. I'm the first one that got it. So I'm going to call my buddy Steve. Hey, man, I just listened to these first 3 songs on the new Metallica album. It's fire, dude. You can't wait. You got to check it out. And then, you know what I mean? There's very little of that anymore because everybody can just get it. It's watered down. Everything, to me, I use that term a lot. Everything is expedited and watered down in this era.
Sure, and it's technology. To me, it's technology based.
Yeah,
like
it is.
When you bought a record or a tape, you listened to the whole thing. Because even if you didn't like a song or you didn't think you like a song, what are you going to do? Pick the needle up and try to find the next song? No, nobody did that. On a tape, I do remember trying this unsuccessfully. Fast forward,
right.
Play. Still, fast forward, play. Now you have that little arrow. I say this all the time. I give songs like 30 seconds. Now I usually go back to, but I give 30. I don't like that. I don't like that. And the one time, literally the one time that I'm waiting for the song to come out, and I don't usually do this, but Peter Criss, on the night of October 30th, I was sitting there. I had an alarm set on my phone for midnight. And the alarm went off at midnight, and I was like, oh, God. And I went on Spotify. Nothing.
By the way,
Couldn't find it.
That's you making that as an example is gold right now, because that makes so much. It's so appropriate what you're saying right now.
Yeah, because look,
that's what we dealt with back then.
40 years ago, you could have very well went to a record store and lined up at 11 o'clock at night, and they would open up specially for a big album release, and you would have that record at 12:01 a.m.
It was an event. It was
It
special.
was an event, and that's why, and I'm convinced of this. That's why you talk about, Creatures of the Night, and I can tell you how many times Gene farted while he sang "I Love It Loud," but I can't do that for music that comes out now. Like we as in people don't dive into things the way we used to because everything is handed to us and everything is right there.
And everybody wants everything quick.
The world is on demand.
Chew it up and spit it out. Chew it up
Right.
and spit it out.
I don't even watch regular TV anymore.
Neither do I.
I watch streaming platforms. I want it when I want it, and I don't have to wait for it. Like, everything is quite literally microwave today.
Yeah.
And 90s music was kind of the beginning of the microwaving, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else you want to add before we skedaddle and skedoodle to prepare to go to the beautiful Las Vegas?
No, I think that was an appropriate end the way we talked about, and I guarantee you it'll be talked about again because we really appreciate our era. So there was a lot of good in the '90s and a lot of stuff that we didn't have, that we didn't experience. That I'm sure you have notes, I have notes, and we're gonna go back and check out some of these albums that got past us. And I would also hope that hooligans out there, if you have something that you can add to this, and comments and say, hey, listen, guys, you missed this album. Check it out. It was really good. Stuff like that. We'd look forward to it. You can add it to the Facebook group or you can do it in our comments.
Look at you. Good job. Good job, Father Rocco. We're going to make you the co-vice president of the promotion and marketing team for the Hooligan Nation, the KISS-Centric Podcast. I'm going to go on vacation.
It's a brotherhood. I want everybody involved.
What about Kelly?
It's a brotherhood and sisterhood. Of course,
Okay.
Kelly's one of the leaders.
Well, but you said brotherhood.
Well, I consider her like brother, sister. I kind of clumped it together.
Well, then you should say a brother and sisterhood. You shouldn't. I don't know that we have any other female
Kelly,
hooligans.
Kelly, help me out here with Mr. Technical Man over here.
Kelly, don't help him at all. And if you do help him and he breaks a tooth, you're responsible for fixing that tooth. If you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, please leave us a review. And if you just found us, check out our past episodes. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel and you like this episode, please consider hitting the like button, just like that guy, and leaving us a comment. Hit that subscribe button, just like that guy, so you don't miss any future episodes, and check out these episodes right here. As always, if you made it this far, thank you for supporting us, and don't forget, we should all lead with love and take care of each other. Peace out, Hooligan Nation.